they picked up Tom Savage earlier today.
Is it?
But I didn't realize
Driscoll.
Is it?
It is Driscoll.
It's Driscoll.
The Florida man. I love it.
So they picked up Savage today. They were definitely never going to start Tom Savage, but Driscoll. Wow. So the Bengals year, are we willing to say it's done?
It's been done.
Yeah,
I mean the Browns kind of ended it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still in the hunt. It's not like they have a terrible record. They're right there.
Speaking of the Browns, they have the same record as the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
How sad is that?
So how long until they give up on Andy Dalton? Oh, or by the way, their head coach, who's been Marvin Lewis, luckiest man in football. Excuse me. Sorry, Morty.
Nice.
That was my Rick moment there.
I love the nervous laugh.
Let's get back to this. What do you think about Odell being a complete and total jerk like usual?
This comes back to me saying that whatever you say in New York is going to get scrutinized, whether you're right or wrong. Odell is right in the sense of that is a question for Pat Shurmur, but he is also wrong in the fact that he kind of threw Shurmur under the bus.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Kind of?
He kind of subtly threw him under the bus.
I understand. You know what? First of all, I have no problem with what he said at first. That's a question for the coach. Keep repeating that. Get out of the interview because they're trying to nail you and they did exactly what they wanted to. You took that shot because you wanted to. You said, I would have loved to attack, but it wasn't in the game plan. You're such a selfish jerk. It's all about you, Odell. Oh, by the way, you're not even the best player on the team.
No, it's Barkley.
Barkley right now is outperforming you by a mile based on yesterday's game. And by the way, I thought Shermer's game plan was trash.
I did too.
Saquon didn't see the ball in the second half. What are you doing?
And that's what bothered me so much. Saquon Barkley had a game for the first half. If you just watched the first half of the Giants-Eagles game yesterday, you would have thought the Giants were going to win.
The only thing I can possibly think of is they're trying not to get him hurt so he's available in 2019.
The kid's 21 years old.
But that's the problem. What are you worried about his health for? What are we doing? This is hilariously stupid.
I have to ask you a question. I heard this today, and I kind of laughed it off. But now that I had time to think about it, I think it's a fair thing to ask right now.
All right.
Is Pat Shurmur fighting for his job right now?
No. I don't think Pat Shurmur's fighting for his job. If anything, Odell Beckham is fighting, if he's even fighting for it, is on his last legs here. I think there is so much, I knew we were going to get here, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a moment. There is so much built up right now with Odell Beckham Jr. This organization is sick and tired of dealing with him. And quite frankly, as a non-Giants fan, so am I. Shut up and do your job. Stop being so selfish. You absolutely miserable cuss ya. All right, let's go to Dave from Franklin Square. How you doing, Dave?
Oh, no complaint. Just call me Mr. Predictable.
I knew it was you. I knew it. How you doing, brother?
No complaints. Thank you for, I'm off today, thankfully, and stuff like that.
How was your Thanksgiving?
I work 12 to 8, locking up the parks in the freezing cold.
Man.
No, that's premium pay, guys, and a day off in the future, so don't feel sorry for me.
You know what, then I won't feel sorry, but I'll say it's honorable work, and gosh darn it, I'm glad it wasn't me.
And if the parks were open the next morning, no one would care.
Yeah. What's on your mind, Dave?
I tell you, the best of both worlds, and I'm not kidding when I say this, is Manning playing well. His value goes up to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Tom Coughlin.
It's never happening.
But they're not going to do that because but Manning has a no trade clause. He has to say yes.
I think if Mr. Coughlin gives him a phone call during the winter and says, come on over. Again, he's got 1 year left, so they'll extend him an extra year.
The sound on that phone call being, hey Eli, Red Rover, send Eli. I get what you're saying, and
the only guy that could beat the Patriots in the AFC. Got it.
I get it, but at the same time, I just don't. I think the timetable for that has passed, and I think even Tom Coughlin would have a hard time convincing the upper brass of the Jaguars that he's the answer, especially after this Blake Bortles fiasco.
If you want me to be honest, I think Eli Manning is more concerned with finishing his career in one spot.
Yeah. Okay. But what? I'm not going to say you're wrong though, because I don't have the answer.
Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I just don't think it's going to happen.
And just remember this. And again, this is an old betting thing. When you start looking at the teams now, look at the teams that give up the fewest points in the fourth quarter. That means they've got a stout defense in the sense they're rotating their guys properly. And then also, if you get a chance, look at the number of guys that made tackles. If you see a large number, that means everybody's included. And when it comes to those when it comes to those horrible conditions, no matter where you play in the playoffs, you know, I mean, again, a lot of times, one of you's got to be a visitor, and the other one's got to be the home team.
Yep,
So,
no doubt about it.
You know, you've got to basically take it. And I just wanted to tell you, this is, and again, it's not hockey related, but the Empire Development Agency estimated that the spur, which was going to connect the LIRR to Belmont Park, they came in with $30 million. Okay. The engineers said $30 million. It's $300 million. And I saw Fred Rollon dig right into his pocket, and he said, "Hey guys, I'll cover it for you. Don't worry." You know. And then the new Islander ownership.
Yeah.
You're not getting it. I mean, you're not getting it from Nassau County.
No, you're not. They proved that last time they tried to vote on this.
And the
not
MPA,
on this, but
no, and the MPA is in bad shape as it is, and they can't. Do you know now that if you took, if you headed west, obviously from an eastbound train, you don't even stop at Belmont. You got to go to Jamaica and take a train to come back.
That's true. I think Belmont's the Ronkonkoma line, right?
Yeah, it's straight shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So what they want to do is they actually want to make an
express line.
Yeah, and that is not a
from where?
The only station I could think
Penn
they could do that. I guess straight from Penn, right?
Yeah, but you can't do that. I mean, like, okay, on paper that makes perfect sense. Penn Station's the busiest, Amtrak's right there, but that's in the middle of Manhattan. All if not most of the Islander fandom is coming from out here.
Right.
So I mean, the closest, well, not really the closest because it's very far away. The easiest for me, if you're coming from Long Island, is Ronkonkoma, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
Or the Hamptons, somewhere. Honestly, somewhere out on the island. That makes sense.
So if you're Joe Schmo from East Meadow, you're out of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Joe Schmo from East Meadow.
yeah, but if you are Joe Schmo from East Meadow or just Nick Ohrnberger from East Meadow, you can easily drive there because getting to Belmont is not hard in the scheme of things, but getting to Belmont in the middle of rush hour traffic is... In all seriousness, it's better than getting to Brooklyn in rush hour traffic, but, it's still a pain in the butt.
No, Hempstead, trust me, living in Franklin Square, Hempstead Turnpike is a disaster from West Hempstead all the way through Elmont. But again, like I said, you learn, and there's no shortcuts because you don't want to go through Floral Park.
You're right.
And, what are you going to do with Dutch Broadway through Elmont? Which, I mean, there is a couple of shortcuts that'll get you through Elmont, but once one person knows about it, everybody knows about it. But like I said, I just wanted to give you the misleading figures that this is what forces young people like yourselves, and when I leave, out of this state, is they underestimate these jobs. And then all of a sudden, they'll float a bond, and that's coming out of your future earnings. Like I said, they'll attack.
Thanks for looking out for us.
Guys, no, let me tell you, I'm a year and a half from retiring. I tell all the young guys, because I'm a shop guy, I said, listen to me. I'm leaving. I ain't coming back. I'm not going to be tapping on your shoulder. You guys got to step up. Not you personally, the guys I work with. Yeah. So you guys got to step up and do stuff.
Understood.
No, you're right. You're noted. Duly, I'm right there with you. And the problem.
Norma Ray. Yeah. All right. Have a good show.
Hey, thank you. Take it easy, Dave. Thank you so much for the phone call. I mean, great insight every time we talk to him. I never mind when we get into things like that because it's always rounded back to where we're trying to get to.
I feel like a changed man every time I talk to him, and that's not even like being sarcastic. It's absolutely true.
And I hope he knows I mean this in the best possible way. He's like my dad on the radio. You know what I mean? Like I just learn a lot when I talk to him. So
makes sense.
Thank you again for the call, Dave. Before we continue, let's get a couple things out of the way here. We're unfortunately going to miss out on a ton of stuff we wanted to do today. That's okay. But Eric is going to give you our
WHPC Sports Monday Must Watch.
What do we got to see today?
Oh, well, Nick, just watch. Well, Nick, I'm so glad that you asked. That took me completely off guard. The New York Rangers take on the Ottawa Senators at Madison Square Garden at 7 o'clock tonight, and it can be viewed on the MSG Network and the MSG app. The New York Islanders will host the world champion Washington Capitals. This will be the first time a Barry Trotz-led Islander team will face off against his previous home team. Officials tell us that the Caps will present him with the Stanley Cup ring on the ice before the game begins, which actually just happened, by the way.
I know. Good for Barry Trotz.
7 o'clock is the official start time, and you can watch the game on MSG Plus and the MSG app. So, Dan, you're going to see a good game tonight. The New Jersey Devils will continue on the road to Florida as they take on the Panthers. The Devils look to correct the 2-game skid that began at the hands of the New York Islanders. That game starts
nights ago. They should have had that game.
Yeah, well,
unbelievable.
Well, you know.
Go ahead.
That game starts at 7 o'clock and can be seen on MS2 and the MSG. I assume that means MSG2.
It's MSG. Isn't it MS plus 2?
I think it's MSG plus 2.
Whatever.
And the MSG app.
Whatever.
And Monday Night Football. The Titans travel to Houston to face off against the Texans tonight on ESPN. Game time set at 8:15.
I don't remember. Who do you have in this game?
I have the Texans.
That was rhetorical. We all knew who you had in this game.
Oh, yeah, Houston.
Houston is better.
Without a doubt.
Without any doubt. Because, I mean, I don't know. I like Marcus Mariota. I like Marcus Mariota, but I can't imagine him possibly
The Patriots take games off.
Yeah, I know. And that's... wait, what?
The Patriots take games off. The Titans beat the Patriots.
Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry, no. I completely whiffed on that. My bad. No, yeah, I don't. So, that's the sound of the bat that missed. No, I definitely missed that completely. But yeah, no, I don't. They take games off at the end of the season. You're 100% right, and Titans aren't real, and they're not going to be real until it's not Marcus Mariota's fault, but. They need to surround him with
weapons.
They need to surround him with like super useful weapons, or just get a traditional quarterback who can do it because he's too small. He's not a deep ball thrower. I don't know. But we'll see what happens tonight.
They don't even need an Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell.
No, they just need a guy who would be perfect in that system. Jordan Matthews. A guy like him, a guy like a Julian Edelman, guys who are underrated, who are fast, going over the middle, all that stuff.
Sterling Shepard.
Another guy like that.
Too.
Yeah, he might steal him away. I don't know if the Giants would be willing to pay him.
I'll take Malcolm Butler.
I know they're in contract. Malcolm Butler, indeed. Yeah, him too.
I forgot he was there for a couple of weeks.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is kind of nuts.
You know what? I think before we go to the 2-minute bed, before we get into it, I got to ask you.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the Ohio State game?
Wow.
Yeah.
Not only is Harbaugh having a hard time coaching up his team to beat Ohio State.
That's an understatement.
Which comes with the credentials of being Michigan head coach.
Yep.
Why is Michigan always having trouble with Ohio State? I get it. You're playing in the horseshoe. That's a very, very tough place to play. Ann Arbor is the exact same way.
Yeah.
But Michigan... I don't get it. They just forget. I don't understand. Urban Meyer just outcoaches Harbaugh every single time.
He's a better coach. He's done it more. And Jim Harbaugh's not up to snuff in this particular arena. And you know what?
Which is funny because he coached in a Super Bowl.
I get it. But at the same time, he did lose that game. And you know what? I don't want to hear the fact that it blacked out as an excuse for him losing. He had the lead at the half and he lost it. To his own brother, no less. So that must have been special for him.
Family ties.
So now the top 4, the playoff hopefuls.
It's probably Notre Dame, Alabama. Got to be Ohio State now.
Nope.
No, it's not?
They're not even close. They're about 2 out of the way. So it's now Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Georgia after their arguably tough win over Georgia Tech. They almost lost that game.
They did almost.
But they go up from 5 to 4, and now you got Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Georgia, and which sucks because everybody knows Notre Dame's not. They don't belong. They don't belong. Even
Notre Dame does not belong?
They don't belong.
Are you nuts?
Every time Notre Dame faces a real college team, they cough it up miserably.
They're 12-0, Nick.
I don't care. Notre Dame. What you watch, Notre Dame's going to absolutely blow this in the college football playoff. I'm telling you. I know you can call me crazy all you want. I'm telling you.
Who would they play?
Right now it'd be Clemson. You really think they're going to beat Clemson?
Yes.
Okay. What is your 2 minutes? Go.
Notre Dame. No, I'm just kidding. So, the Islanders take on the Caps tonight. The Islanders are my only team that I can watch this year that I have really high hopes for. The New York Knicks, I am content with what's going on. How about Emmanuel Mudiay?
How about him? 27 points?
Yeah, honestly, I think Fizdale fixed him.
I hope so.
Look, Mudiay's
because if he did, he's already an active defender. contender. I love it. I love it.
Moutier's contract is up after the year. I'd go on a limb and say I'd bring him back.
I would bring him back, hands down. Mine will be in the same vein. I think David Fizdale is getting through this team. They won 3 in a row.
An impressive 3 in a row.
Enes Kanter last night, 26 rebounds.
Why is he not starting?
I don't know, but you know what? Maybe that's a question for another day.